But when you go live, we'll actually be able to see it because we're both on.
That's right.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to Goblin Talk, the show that I just can't seem to think of a better name for. I'm here with my friends Erica Mims, a.k.a. Producer Erica, and Joe Cabo.
Hey!
How you guys doing tonight? You doing good?
Ooh, wonderful.
You're looking
Yes.
good, both of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's the glasses.
I got my beard trimmed last week, so that's what I
You got your
chalk it
beard
up to.
trimmed? Oh,
That's right. I went to what, Mary Todd,
Did you?
right? Yeah. Yeah.
You actually took my recommendation?
Yeah, I took your recommendation.
No shit.
Yeah. And it was great. And then I said that this guy James sent me, and they're like, "Who's James?" And I showed a picture, and they're like, "I think I've given that guy a haircut
Come
before."
on, man.
I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah, I name dropped you.
Was it a Scottish guy that trimmed your beard?
Yes, Steven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy. Yeah, he owns the
Yeah,
place.
he said he recognized
Or he
you.
runs
I
the
was
place.
like,
I don't know if he owns it, but he runs it.
Oh,
Yeah, he's from Glasgow.
I just figured he was Scottish. I didn't ask him too much
Yep,
about.
he's from Glasgow.
I know
So
everyone here wanted.
if you're in Atlanta, you should go to Mary Todd Hair Company.
Yeah, over in
And,
Cabbagetown.
Yeah, over in Cabbagetown.
That's right.
They do a
And
good
then
job.
I went to go eat at Jen Chan's next door.
I haven't been there. Was that good?
Oh, it was good. Yeah,
It was all right.
the pizza was fine.
It was okay. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. The pizza
It's called
was
what?
It was all right. It
Jen Chan's.
Oh.
Yeah, it was good.
was all right.
It was good.
It was okay.
It was solid. It was a solid meal.
It was a solid. Well, that's
Solid meal.
the best you can hope for, I think.
Well, I mean, it could have been pureed, right? So then it'd be kind of more liquidy, right?
Yeah. Hi, Kristen. Kristen's in the chat. Hello.
Hello. I keep on looking down, and I'm seeing all three of us.
Oh wow. I know, right? It's
It
weird.
looks so good.
We're here tonight to talk about we decided to do, or I decided to do, I'm sorry, I just dragged Joe into this. And Erica.
Dragged in, kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I thought we should do a series on the Outer Planes because I got into it recently doing our home game, and there's a lot of lore there, Joe Cabo.
There is.
There's a lot of lore in the Outer
lot.
Planes. So I thought we would take them on one at a time. Last week we had Stephen Millard on, who is a physicist, and we talked about the possibility of actual real life extraplanar travel. Did you watch that episode, Joe Cabo?
No.
Yeah, I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
How do you know this?
I was just asking to put you on the spot.
Just so you can rib me a little bit about it. I got you. I understand.
But we talked about the possibility of real life extraplanar travel. It was super interesting.
Yeah.
And
what was the ultimate result? Did you say it was possible?
It's probably not. Well, it's possible, but it would take a shitload of energy.
Well, that's fine. I got a shitload of energy, so I can power it.
I'm sure you do, but I'm talking about, like more energy than it's worth.
You're saying I'm not worth the energy? I'm hurt.
Well,
wounded.
If you want to go to Limbo, it's going to cost more energy than we have on the planet Earth right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, since we went to this plane in my home game, which I don't remember if Joe Cabo was in there. I know Erica wasn't because she's been working on school. But we went to Limbo. So I thought we would start with Limbo.
So somebody who doesn't know anything, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How do you define the outer planes?
Joe Cabo?
The outer planes are the planes that align with the different alignments. So like there's a chaotic good plane, there's a chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. Like it just spans all nine of the alignments.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's
And-
one way to put it. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yep. And Limbo is the chaotic neutral plane. Is just pure chaos in its all glory.
Yeah, Limbo is it's where the Gith come from. It's where the Slod come from. We've had Slod in our home game too. Do you remember that, Joe Cabo?
Yes. Well, they were in the bar, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and elsewhere.
See.
So Limbo is complete and utter chaos. Things are coming apart and coming together at the same time. All the time. Joe, could you you're familiar with Pathfinder, right?
Yeah.
So Limbo is one of those planes that goes between D&D and Pathfinder.
Uh-huh.
So did you see any, when you were looking up earlier, did you see any differences between the two?
I mean, so Limbo is one of the names for it, but it's more colloquially known in that system as the Maelstrom.
The Maelstrom.
Yes. But it's also known as Limbo.
Okay. And it is where things come apart, things come together.
That's right.
And the Githzerai and the Githyanki come from there in 5e. Or in D&D, I mean. Those are probably specific to D&D. Like Pathfinder couldn't steal that too, so.
Oh, wait. Oh. You mean it was open license, right?
His hatred of Pathfinder is legendary.
Legend. Wait for it, dairy.
So I'm just saying, they got to D&D 3rd edition, right?
And realized it was.
And they went to 4th edition, and all the people were like, I don't want 4th edition. And they went to Pathfinder 3.5, which is
3.75.
Oh, okay. Okay. Whatever you say. Whatever you say,
Before
Joe
he
Cabo.
goes too long, I have another question. Because
Uh-huh.
like I said, for everybody watching, I don't know anything about these planes. So the plane that you would normally play in, like the realm you're normally in.
The material plane.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
called the material
so that's
plane.
not one of the 9. Like it's not one
No.
of the different.
And when you
So
say
do they
material
interact with
plane,
each other differently than like we interact with them? Does that make sense?
it does. I'm just trying to decide how to.
So there's like, like think of it as like a diagram where you have the material plane in the center, and then you have the inner planes, which is like the positive energy plane, the negative energy plane, the 4 elemental planes: air, fire, water, earth.
Okay.
Those are the inner planes, and then the outer planes is like the bigger encompassing circle of the alignment driven planes.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
the Great Wheel cosmology is what they call it.
Yep.
So the material plane is several different planes in D&D. Like you have Faerun.
Yeah.
You have Eberron. And there are others as well that haven't made it into 5e yet, like Dark Sun, right? Places like that. And then you have the outer planes on the outside, and there are 12 of them. Am I right with that, Joe? 12 of them?
Yes.
I think 12 comes to mind.
I think so. Now
No?
I need to look. No, I need to look this up now to confirm.
I think it's 12 different ones, of which one is Limbo.
So is Limbo the most interesting one to you?
most interesting. I don't know if it's most interesting. Because literally it's the chaos plane. Things are constantly breaking apart and coming back together. As far as having a home game and going to one of the outer planes is pretty interesting. But some of the other ones are, you know, like you got Bitopia, you got Pandemonium, you got... I don't know about most interesting.
1, 2,
but it's where the Gith come from.
Oh, there's according to this map, there are 16 outer planes.
16. Is that the Great Wheel cosmology?
The Great Wheel.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Now, is that in Joe Cabo? Is that in is that D&D or is that the same for Pathfinder?
I think it's the same. I'd have to go confirm that. This goes on. This Great Wheel came into being with the AD&D setting Planescape, is where it all comes from. So we're not. So we're. This goes back.
Yeah,
it goes way back.
The Great Wheel goes back. There's a newer one, but I like the Great Wheel better.
Oh, see. Oh, so the positive and negative energy planes are outside of the outer planes. They're kind of like all encompassing.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
There's a lot of different planes.
There are
that you can go to in your home game in Dungeons and Dragons. Not so much Pathfinder, you know.
They're the exact same.
Pathfinder, you pretty much stay in towns where you dig up turnips, and you
There's nothing wrong with turnips.
Yeah, I just had turnips at Camp McDowell that I went to last weekend in the middle of nowhere, Alabama. It was great. They had a little farm where you could pick carrots and turnips.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah. Oh, it was wonderful. It was a nice weekend getaway, but that's neither here nor there.
You weren't forced at gunpoint to do that?
No. It was lovely.
Wow.
They had nice hiking trails and everything.
You dug up turnips and you... Did you eat them afterward?
I did try the turnips.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've already experienced, you know, half of Paizo's adventure paths.
Wow.
For 2E.
Wow. Yeah.
That's basically what they consist of, is digging up turnips.
At least Pathfinder is giving me some sustenance.
You know, you can sell turnips in Animal Crossing and make bank.
That is very true. That is 110% true.
I've heard that. I haven't played Pathfinder, obviously, but producer Erica plays a lot of Pathfinder.
Pathfinder? I play a lot of Pathfinder, absolutely.
Sorry, Animal Crossing. Producer Erica plays a lot of Animal Crossing. And she is the one to look to if you want tips and tricks for Animal Crossing. Go start her own YouTube channel for that.
My town's called Scythia, guys.
Yeah, it's true.
Hashtag got a plug.
Right.
Yeah.
To Limbo.
Yeah. You know, if you want to go to Pathfinder, you got to talk to Joe Cabo, because Joe Cabo is the Pathfinder guy, which is why I make fun of him a lot.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you would make fun of me regardless if I was the Pathfinder guy or not.
I wouldn't. I totally wouldn't.
Let's be honest.
I would not. My problem is not with you, Joe Cabo. It's with Pathfinder. It's with Pathfinder itself. And I'm just saying, in a lot of Pathfinder adventure paths, you end up digging up turnips.
I only know of one, and that's over in...
I can think of two, and you know Pathfinder a lot better than I do.
I can't wait to run a 5e campaign for you where I'm going to make you dig up turnips.
I would love that.
like you're going to dig up turnips.
I would love it. You bring up one turnip, though, and I'm out of there. Like my character commits suicide. I'm gone.
Wow.
Hmm.
That is that's quite extreme.
Somebody in the party will bring you back just so you can dig up more turnips.
Or I could leave the character there so you can run him as an NPC or something. But
Wow.
one turnip and I'm out.
That's extreme.
Because I have played in 2 Pathfinder campaigns and both of them had to do with turnips.
Did
Both of
you
them. Mhm.
I mean, I feel like this is more deep seated. Like, is there
No.
some childhood trauma involving turnips?
No,
that-
I like turnip greens. Those are pretty good.
I feel like maybe we should have another Goblin talk where we explore your deep seated fear of turnips.
I'm not asking you to be my therapist, Joe. that seems like a little much to put on you.
I mean, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. We can talk it out.
Besides, we're here to talk about Limbo.
That's right. That is
That's what
very
we're
true.
here for at the moment.
This is why it's hard to produce for you guys.
Producer Eric is going to pull the plug on this thing any
It's
second.
like, cut the mic, cut the mic.
Yeah, any second. So Limbo.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to take a party there as a DM, Joe Cabo,
Yeah.
what sort of adventure would you be running? Do you think it'd be running something where they start on the material plane and they get sucked into limbo?
I mean, that's one way to do it.
And if
That's one way to do
they
it.
did, what do you think would happen to the party there? I mean,
it
what do
just
you do?
depends.
What do you do with a party of adventurers in a chaotic place like Limbo?
I mean, you just gotta touch on like how crazy it is, and that like there's like very limited places of stability, right? And then like the vast majority of it's going to be wild.
When you say that, what does that mean exactly? So like, are there certain rules that exist, or is it more like no rules exist?
So you can create your own rules for places outside of what's considered stable, outside of the areas that are like known places within Limbo. But
Okay.
there's vast regions that like the landscape's always changing, or like it's just, it
That
never
sounds
looks
fun.
the same. The first thing that I saw about it is that Limbo, historically, it was based off of the limbo from Catholicism, which being the space between heaven and hell. And in appearance, they took a lot of inspiration from the abyss in John Milton's Paradise Lost.
Did they?
Yep.
Have you read that, Joe Cabo?
Have I read Paradise Lost?
Yeah.
I've read portions of it.
So that's a no.
I mean,
I've seen
I
the
haven't-
Stargate episode.
And there's a really
That's close enough.
there's a really awesome video game about it, based off of it.
Is there?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I will have to look it up.
Is it
But I
something
remember
about the
watching.
7 Deadly Sins or something like that.
Yeah, you're going through hell.
Interesting.
Oh, it's called Paradise Lost.
Oh, is it?
Yep. There you go.
How about you, producer Erica? Did they make you read Paradise Lost in school? No.
Nope. I went to 2 different high schools though, and they had different reading requirements for each one.
Oh,
So-
that sucks.
Yeah, it was. It
So you
made
had
the
to read twice as
transition
much
weird.
as everybody else,
No, I just
or half as much as everybody else.
you just read one book and then you get to another school and they're like, take the quiz on this book, and you're like, well, I haven't read that one yet, but
Mm. But you can probably guess.
I'm terrible
Yeah.
at that. I fail reading quizzes even when I read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Joe Cabo,
Yes.
do you have to take a lot of reading quizzes?
For what?
I don't know.
For work? No.
Sure.
No, I don't have to take any reading quizzes for work.
You're
We're
not,
gonna
you're
start.
not-
I hope that's not going to be a requirement coming up.
You're not.
It's going to be a requirement for Goblin Talk. Yes.
Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Maybe it will. I don't know.
So-
Actually, I lied earlier. The video game is not called Paradise Lost. Because it's called Heart of Darkness.
Oh, I fucking hate that book.
It's called Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to play that.
Gosh.
I love that novel. I like the
Isn't it?
movie.
Yeah, we have to see.
I like the movie with Tim Roth. That's based a little closer on the book. It's called Heart of Darkness. I like Apocalypse Now, which is based on Heart of Darkness. I like the novel Heart of Darkness.
I hate all of it. And
So I would check that
we
out.
should get back on topic. Mm-hmm.
No. No, we're way better off topic.
No, I have a question.
Okay.
So, like, if the landscape is changing and there's all this chaos, does it
Mhm.
tend to affect whether, I guess, NPCs maybe, or because player characters, I guess it's up to them. But is there any sort of mechanics that does it change a character? Does it make them more chaotic? How does it affect a character
don't-
being in that type of?
They don't really give you any mechanics. 5e, change characters or anything like that. And let me. I've got a picture here I can show you on Twitch.
But in the great game of Pathfinder, they do give you suggestions about what you can do.
Okay.
Which you can change the effects of gravity would be one, where you can make it easier to jump or make it really hard to move, in certain areas, or when you're outside of the areas that are considered stable, magic doesn't perform as normal, and you can have tables to roll wild magic effects that happen since it's so chaotic.
It's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course you can do all those things in 5e.
But they give you suggestions. 5e didn't give me suggestions for it when I researched it. So,
Joe Cabo.
yes, I'm here for you.
Don't make me come through this computer screen.
Dem's fighting words. I hear you. I understand.
By the way, hello Morgan. Morgan's in the chat. She says, look at these cuties, and James is there too. Hello. Yeah. That's about right.
Dang.
That's about right. Joe Cabo's got that smile.
That winning smile.
That damn smile. And producer Erica is, of course, producer Erica. So,
I mean,
I need my anime sparkles, but other than that,
you have anime sparkles? I'm jealous. How can I get anime sparkles?
Big cat.
Do I? No, I don't have a cat. Nope. Nope. I'm allergic to them.
Oh, that's sad.
Yep.
You're allergic to cats?
Yeah. I was.
What?
I was
the
allergic.
fuck?
I was allergic to all pets growing up. I had to take shots every week.
It didn't take?
Now,
You're still allergic to cats and stuff?
I'm all right with dogs, but cats I'm still allergic to. Yeah.
Fish.
You're allergic to fish, producer Erica?
No.
No,
Um,
that's what you get
heard
when
it
you
here
can't have a
first.
cat or a dog.
you heard it here first. Producer Erica is allergic to fish. Can't have a pet fish. Too bad.
I had pet fish when I was
Yeah,
little.
pet fish. What kind of
They were
fish?
Dalmatian fish. They look like Dalmatian dogs.
Oh. I never had any fish when I was growing up. What about you,
Okay.
Joe?
We need to
Did
get
you?
back on topic.
I had a goldfish
You had a
for
goldfish?
for a couple months. But my favorite non-standard pet was a frog that I caught
Oh, no
that
kidding.
that I kept alive for a year. It was wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, it was a little
What was his
size.
name?
Slimy.
Slimy. That's cute.
Uh-huh.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I was like
Morgan-
6, 7 years old.
Morgan said she had a fish and her cousin threw it off a balcony.
That's horrible,
wow.
Morgan.
Wow.
That's horrible. If you need to talk about it, myself and Joe Cabo and producer Erica would all be happy to talk to you about that.
That's right.
Cousins are sus. And goldfish are also bullies, though. So
Are they?
yeah, we had some, and they wouldn't eat. They would only eat the food like at the top. Like if it sunk to the bottom, they wouldn't eat it, and they'd push all the other fish out, eat them. And we went camping, and we put in a bottom feeder for a weekend, and they all died because they wouldn't eat the bottom food.
Goldfish are stupid. Wow. Yeah, I never had an aquarium or anything like that growing up. But
That's been the most comments so far in our chat.
Yeah.
Fish.
yeah, goldfish. Well, I mean, if you had a goldfish in Limbo, how long do you reckon it would last there, Joe Cabo?
I mean, it depends. There is an area of water of where the elemental plane of water like kind of intersects with Limbo.
Wait,
Really?
they intersect?
Yeah.
Well, tell us
'Cause,
about
like,
that.
So it's actually based on one of the Japanese like a god from Japanese mythology of Susanoo. I think I'm saying it right. I hope I am.
Susanoo?
Susanoo, yeah, and
That's
you'd also
very
you'd also recognize that if you watch Naruto,
Oh, that's
'Cause-
why it sounds familiar.
because Susanoo is the like armor that the Uchiha can produce with their eye if they get
Mhm.
to those higher levels of the Sharingan. So anyway, and it's all based on Japanese mythology. Like that show does a great. Like I learned so much about the Japanese mythos just by watching that anime and researching it. But
Really?
but it aligns with that being one of the realms of Limbo, or an area of Limbo.
I didn't learn any of that from the anime that I've watched.
Oh, you need to get on it.
Mostly-
you need to get
Listen,
on that.
Mostly
trying.
tentacles.
I'm trying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so it says here, named after a deity from the country Japan on Earth. It's actually a god in this area. I thought it was the name of the area, but he ruled a spherical bubble half filled with seawater and aquatic life and churned by storms of his making.
Interesting. And that somehow intersects with Limbo?
Yeah.
Huh.
It sure does.
Do the other elemental planes intersect Limbo as well?
There are. Yeah, there's let's see, they have Agni, which is a deity from India, resides in a sphere of pure flame that floats through the layers of Limbo at his will. And
Neat.
there's also Indra, also from India. Spheres filled with enchanted milk, and his palace stood on an island-sized tortoise.
Are you reading on a Pathfinder wiki right now?
I'm looking. Yes, there is. Not a Pathfinder one. It's a Forgotten Realms.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool then.
Oh, it's all right
That's
at
cool.
that point. It's all right at that point. I see how it is.
Morgan wants to know if there are any creatures native to and only found in Limbo. The two that I've read about are, of course, the Githyanki and the Githzerai. So Gith come from Limbo, and so do Slaads, Slaad. But you might find them other places in the Forgotten Realms. They just were spawned in Limbo. And Slaads are particularly gross. They're the ones that can... they stab you and what am I looking for here? I don't want to use the word impregnate because that's not right.
use you as like a nest? Or
Yeah,
like
you are a host,
Mhm.
basically, after you get
Ugh.
stabbed by a slod. There's green slods and death slods and red slods. But they do originate in Limbo. One of those we came across in our home game on Friday nights. What's the difference between the astral plane and Limbo, Joe Cabo?
Oh, see now, where are these questions coming from?
Who art more, Joe Cabo, who art more knowledgeable than me? What's the difference between the astral plane and Limbo?
Well, I mean, so
You're our resident expert.
Limbo's just is just chaos incarnate into a plane.
Yes.
But the astral plane is kind of like a space between anywhere. Like it's
Oh.
astral.
So the
let's
gift
see.
might have made it to the material plane through the astral plane from Limbo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the astral plane is like what makes up in between the worlds or in between the planes.
Yeah, and astral's kind of the same as the prime material plane. Like
Okay.
it's like time goes the same at that with that one. It kind of like syncs up with material plane, but it's not
Interesting.
material plane. And it's kind of
So-
like nothing other or nothingness, but also otherness. Like it's
Uh-huh.
So time is different in the other planes?
yeah. So time can and the
Especially in
and
Limbo.
especially in Limbo can
Go backwards and go forwards and go up
Oh,
and
yeah.
go down.
Oh wow.
Yep.
It seems like if you had a creature that came from Limbo and you tried to put it in a different plane, it wouldn't exist very well.
Yeah, that's why slides are so gross.
Time in the astral flowed the same rate as the prime material plane, but the effects of time were slowed almost to a stop. 1,000 years in the astral plane felt like only a day to a traveler. Interesting. But yeah. No, yeah, but Limbo's is pure craziness. Pure craziness.
So if I was running a home game, right,
Uh-huh.
and I was getting bored with the material plane,
As one does.
time goes forward, up is up, and down is down. That's boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to. What would you do to bring your home game into limbo temporarily? How would you do that?
How would you do
Would you
that?
have a wizard that threw everybody into limbo temporarily, or what would you do to really screw your party up?
I mean,
Because that would screw them up. You know what I mean? Throw them into limbo temporarily, and
I would chalk it up to it being a tad more chaotic than that. I mean,
A
like
tad
you could
more?
have you could have a wizard throw some folks through, but I would maybe it depends on what level folks you're at, right? But
whatever level you want.
you want to go like lower, well, you could have it like they're adventuring and all of a sudden like the ground beneath them opens up into a portal, like there's a random instance of Limbo touching the material plane.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that makes sense if Limbo's so chaotic that it would
Yeah.
have these random chaotic.
Yeah.
And I think that makes more sense than almost having a character be able to put somebody in Limbo, because that almost implies that they have some sort of control over that.
Yeah.
Over
There's
that chaos.
no control in limbo, right? I
Right.
mean, everything is chaotic.
And then maybe their whole adventure hook is that they need to figure out what caused this to happen, because it's so extraordinary that you don't want to have the plane of pure chaos swallowing more of the material plane.
That's a great idea, Joe Cabo.
I know.
I know you're gonna go
I-
off and you're gonna write your
I-
one shot on based on
I
that.
thought of it. That's why it's great.
You're gonna go write your one shot now.
Oh, is it going to be a one shot? Is that what I'm going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you
I
could
have a
base a whole
question.
campaign on Limbo. Yes, producer.
Is the different planes something that crosses over from Pathfinder into Starfinder? Do we know that?
Are you familiar with Starfinder, Joe Goblin?
I am familiar with Starfinder. I am not so familiar with how the planes, if they've changed at all during Starfinder. My gut tells me that they have not changed the planes with Starfinder. But Starfinder is more, geared towards exploring the other worlds.
The cosmos.
There's, Starfinder
Um,
planes.
yeah, Starfinder's more sci-fi, of course. You're on spaceships and stuff, and I don't know. Maybe they don't need outer planes to make it interesting because you're already in space, right?
Yep. I found the name of the game that I was talking about earlier. It's called Dante's Inferno. Why didn't I think of that?
Oh, I know that game. I haven't played it,
Yeah.
but I know it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the game from earlier.
Um,
Anyway.
yeah, I mean, we Faerun, or the Forgotten Realms, or the Material Plane, whatever you want to call it, they're, you got your sword and board fantasy, right? So they bring in other things like these other planes and stuff to make it interesting, right? You end up in Limbo, or you end up in one of the other planes that we're going to be talking about in later episodes of Goblin Talk. But Starfighter, I don't know if you really need Limbo to make it interesting. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I think you can, like, if you want to spice up your game by, like, bringing in elementals as well, as well as all the exotic alien races you run into, you can do that. Or maybe they've and this I've seen happen in a lot of different settings, that, like, even more closer to Faerunian stuff, and Eberron, like, they capture elementals to power their machines, right? Like, you could have that happen as well in Starfinder too.
Chaos is so sci-fi. It just seems kind of perfect in a way.
It feels like an episode of, like, The Next Generation. Will they come across a phenomenon in space, right?
I was
what do
thinking
they call it?
that movie with Natalie Portman.
Oh,
Annihilation.
Annihilation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't.
That feels more like the Feywild to me, but yeah, I see where you're going with that.
I haven't seen Annihilation.
You haven't seen Annihilation?
No, I haven't seen Annihilation.
That's your homework tonight, Joe Cabo.
Tonight? Okay.
That's a great movie.
I may have bought it already.
It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Did it come out recently? In the past couple years?
It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, okay. I have bought it. I have like 500 plus movies on my iTunes account.
Because you're crazy.
Look, I've been buying them for, like, the past 6 or 7
maybe
years.
You should watch one or two of them, Like, watch Annihilation. That's your homework. It's a great movie. It really is. And that particular movie feels more like the Feywild to me, but if they'd ended up in some place like Limbo, it would have been a much shorter movie.
So since, again, I don't really get the nuances, what's the difference between Faerun and Limbo? Aside from, like, actual, like, location or whatever.
Faerun is the material plane in D&D, not Pathfinder. What do they call it in Pathfinder, Joe?
The home. I mean, like, material plane is, like, all of existence, but, like, it's really centered around Galarian.
Galarian, that's it. Yeah. D&D has, like, different settings, right? So there's Faerun, which is the one we've been in our home game, and then there's Eberron, there's Dark Sun, there's a few different ones, right? But they're all in the material plane. And then there's the outer planes, which are.
But aside from the location, like, what's really the difference? Like, if you're there experiencing either one, what makes it different?
Well, Faerun is like our high fantasy elves and swords and stuff like that, right? And then Eberron is steampunk, basically, is the way I would describe it in a nutshell. Steampunk and, like Joe said, they have elementals of power machines and stuff. Dark Sun is it hasn't come into 5e yet. Every time they come out with a new book in 5e, people are like, where's Dark Sun, right? But that's like a desert planet, and it's low magic, and each one has a different flavor to it.
Limbo and Faerun.
Limbo exists on the outer planes of every single one of these, because all these different settings are in the material plane.
That doesn't answer my question, sir.
Well, okay, rephrase your question, please.
Like literally, because you talked about the landscape changing, like those kind of, what makes that different than like Faerun? Because Faerun, I don't know if that exactly happens, but isn't there some sort of
Limbo is utter chaos.
Okay.
If you
But
leave
how does
the
that
material
manifest?
plane and you go to Limbo, you could be walking through grass, or you could be walking through kittens that are going up out of the ground. It is utter chaos. There is no
walking through
rhyme or reason to
kittens. Like
anything that happens in Limbo.
kittens could be the ground.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Or they could be the air. Or Limbo is utter chaos. So nothing makes any sense.
Okay.
Gravity could reverse.
I think that's the fact that I was looking for, that
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Because chaos
Yeah.
can still make sense, even if it's chaotic. But this doesn't make sense.
It might for a minute, but then it doesn't. Nothing is. There's no rhyme or reason to anything that happens in Limbo. It's just. I shared a picture on Twitch a little. I don't know if you could
Did
see
you?
it. Drop it back up here for you. That's the picture that 5e has for it.
Am I supposed to be seeing something somewhere?
If you're looking at Twitch,
I'm on Twitch. I don't see anything.
maybe there's a lag.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. That's the picture they have for it. For Limbo.
That's not really what I was expecting.
So in the Pathfinder setting, the maelstrom, as
Mhm.
they call it, is home to outsiders called Proteans that are just beings of chaos that just inhabit it, and like whether it's or it doesn't matter what outer plane you're in, all of them, like the souls of people get judged, and then they get sent to one of the outer planes if they're so judged that way.
Really?
And like souls end up in Pathfinder, the souls end up like banding together, or if you're like particularly particularly
Bad.
like malicious or particularly
Bad.
chaotic, you can yourself become one of these like beings that inhabit those outer planes, and then like rise and gain more power and like level up, if you will.
Interesting.
So that's one thing that I think that Pathfinder makes a difference in, is that like the outer planes is where souls are headed to all the time after you are judged in the boneyard by Pharasma.
Do they have the 9 hells?
They have
bet they do.
something like that.
But yeah, I bet they do. Something very similar to that, I bet.
It is called Hell. It's not the 9 hells. It's just Hell. So,
I mean, they ripped the 9 hells off of Dante. So,
yeah, of course.
Whatever.
Yeah,
But it's not like that's an original idea that somebody could rip off. But
right.
it's just hell.
It's just Hell. Yeah.
One.
It has,
how many layers is that? Is
it has,
it one
it
layer?
has not it has nine layers. It has 9 layers. They just don't call it the same that
Okay.
that
Is the first layer called Avernus? in
I mean, you don't
Pathfinder?
call the
Is the
different
first
layers of an
layer-
onion different
I'm
things.
frozen.
You do with the different layers of hell, though.
Is the first layer what? You were frozen on my end. Had
Is the
bad
first
connection.
layer of hell in Pathfinder called Avernus?
Of course. Yeah.
Uh-huh. See there?
Yeah. It's Avernus, then Dis, then Eberus.
So it's exactly the same as
Yeah,
Pharaoh?
the exact same.
Okay. Or as Dungeons and Dragons, I guess.
I feel like we need to find somebody else who hates Pathfinder just as much. Just
I
to
don't,
like,
listen, I don't hate Pathfinder, okay?
um,
I hate the action economy in Pathfinder.
Oh.
I do.
See,
I do.
yeah, we need to go revisit that topic so I can throw back in your face how terrible spellcasting is in 5e.
At least it doesn't irritate you as you're doing
Oh
it,
no.
you know?
Oh no, I'm irritated by it, but we'll save
somebody
that
just
for a
has
different time.
control over that.
Okay, well, maybe we'll have a Goblin talk where it's me versus Joe Cabo,
That's right. Oh,
5e versus Pathfinder,
ooh.
and we'll
Well, we
each
could
talk
have-
about the good things and the bad things.
Oh,
about each one.
will producer Erica
You can moderate.
moderate
Yeah.
the. Oh,
So
can
moderate and choose the
Ooh.
winner?
Ooh, can I
Yeah.
build a podium for me to stand behind?
Of
I'll
course.
wear a suit.
You get
You
bonus
can
points
build
for
whatever
that.
you want. I'm not wearing a suit because
Or
this
a
isn't
suit.
Pathfinder. I'm not wearing a suit.
I'll wear a suit.
You're defending D&D though.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'll wear a suit.
don't wanna wear a
D&D
suit
is
for that?
casual.
Nice.
It's
I'll have a
more,
bow tie.
you know, you don't need a suit to play D&D. You need a suit to play Pathfinder because it's
So
fucking
good in
formal.
suits, though.
Oh, I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah. That'd be a good time. Yeah, we should do that. So thanks for joining us, everybody.
Look, this particular episode of Goblin Talk, I think, has embodied Limbo because we've been so chaotic with
We have been chaotic
with everywhere that we're touching on. It's been wonderful.
because, yeah, we didn't really know too well what we were talking about, which is Limbo in a
We
nutshell.
can always revisit if people have questions later.
Of course. Of course. Which plane do you think we should do next, Joe?
Which plane?
Pandemonium?
I mean, we could do Pandemonium.
I
What's
mean, that would be a short
Pandemonium?
episode. That would be a short episode. It's windy. That's about it.
It's between the abyss and limbo. So you're just are you going clockwise on the
It's windy.
on the great wheel there?
Something like that. Or we could do Bitopia. We went to Bitopia in our home game. Bitopia was fun, I thought. So we'll either do a plane, another plane next, or we'll do 5e versus Pathfinder with producer Erica as our moderator.
I need to find me a podium.
And Joe, you better come correct.
What do you mean? I always come correct. When have you known me to not be correct?
Because
Never.
I got a lot of things to say about the
Oh,
difference
do-
between the two. I do.
Oh, do you?
I
oh,
do.
you? You ready to throw down?
hmm
Huh.
It's gonna be Paizo versus Wizards of the Coast. Wizards isn't perfect. I'll give them that. You know, they're not perfect, but they know how to ride an adventure path.
I like how you call it adventure path because that's not the terminology that they use.
Exactly. That's why I said that.
What's the terminology they use?
Published adventure,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
typically is what they call it. Wizards of the Coast. Paizo calls it adventure paths.
Yeah.
And I think Wizards of the Coast is better at writing them. So
But Wizards of the Coast didn't have guidelines for Limbo.
not yet.
Are they relying on the talent of their DMs?
Well, they're in old school D&D. See, Wizards of the Coast can rely on all that old school stuff that's already out there because they own it, you see. Because they have the benefit of having first edition all the way through 5th edition, and they just own it. So they don't have to have rules for every little thing that they wrote themselves because it's already out there. Like stuff like all the Outer Planes and everything. Or is pies? Never mind. Well, you know what? I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it.
Save it. Save it.
I'm saving it.
Save it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna lose, but save it.
I'm not gonna lose until I'm not gonna lose. Producer Erica, who is completely she has no dog in this race. So producer Erica can moderate. Unless you'd rather pick your own moderator.
I'll just say that Alden is not allowed to vote.
Alden won't be anywhere near that. He'll be hydrostatically testing something somewhere. And we'll be...
It's true. It's true.
We'll do our thing.
Very true.
Yeah, producer Erica would be a perfect moderator for that because
I
really
agree.
she doesn't have a dog in the race. So
I agree. I can't wait. You're not going to have a podium that you're going to stand behind?
I'm gonna be
I automatically, if I have a podium, I automatically win. That's the win condition.
That's not how that works.
That's totally how that works.
That is
That's
not how that works.
dedication.
That's right. Dedication.
If you show up with a podium, I
Professionalism.
will. I don't want to say anything because you will show up with a podium.
I'm gonna go look for some Black Friday deals on podiums now. As soon as
I don't think you're gonna find any, but you know, have fun looking. A lectern doesn't count; it has to be a podium.
Okay. Got it.
Well, thank you for joining us on Goblin Talk tonight. And thank you to my guest, Joe Cabo. And
Glad
producer
to be here.
Erica. Thank you for coming, producer Erica.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And we will see you next time, whether we're talking about planes or we're, we got beef or whatever it is. Beef.
It's what's for dinner.
It is what's for dinner. I'm just looking for my insight. There it is. So everybody have a good night. Happy Black Friday or whatever. Go find your podium deals. And we will see you later.